So, my job is to wrap this event up, and I do that in my unique way. So I'd like to invite you to think back to about 6:30, 7 o'clock this evening, where we gathered for an evening of rainmaking in action. With Reprieve, MyBnk Caada, the star attractions. There was interaction, networking, questions and answers. And there was our influential audience seizing the chance to share their expertise, resources, contacts or cash. So these three brilliant causes can keep making a splash, creating impacts incredible, changing lives, helping our young or afflicted to uplift and thrive. We arrived at the amazing Westminster Hub, a hot desking nest of enterprise and love. And in these times so tough, a shining example of how connectivity and synergy seed growth that is ample. Now we were well entertained by Mike's introduction, that is, after the microphone began to function. He reminded us that collectively we have 16,000 connections that can give these worthy causes such a vital injection. Ninja lawyer Clive was first up to speak. Cricket lover with dancing queen tastes unique. Reprieve championed the causes of the innocent and rendered, and are now focusing on drones that leave civilians dead or dismembered. Clive contends that there's no greater imbalance of power than when a government seeks to terminate a human's minutes and hours. By now our connection with Wilfred was beginning to grow. Robin Hood was just one of the get-ups he showed. And no, if you're ever held up at gunpoint, Clive's the man to see, because he's been done 7 times and he's lived to tell the tale happily. But to discover the majority of Guantanamo's residents have been cleared is enough to make anybody shed a tear. Really, how can Obama keep hold of the Nobel Peace Prize when he kills 16-year-old boys with his drones from the skies? So girls and guys, please remember the name Tariq Aziz and how military intelligence is bought paying snitches fees. Fuck that! We've had enough of the bug splat. It's time to give the drones and the execution drugs back. So go on the attack, hitting rendition and innocent killing for 6, so that Clive has less reason to show his Wilfred pics. Next up, MyBnk Lily made sure we never forget our nation's £1.5 trillion personal debt. Because debt is the biggest fear for our emerging youth. Lily feels financial education can give them a different truth. From a future where an ISA is an energy drink or an accessory, microfinance was the Bangladeshi blessing that she brought home to serve excelling students, and swiftly to queuing, she made some improvements. Because it was no longer sweets and chocs her customers buy, rather they were saving to bring a laptop into their life. She designed micro-loans to finance young entrepreneurs. It's not all about chicken and chips was the message we heard. Her strategic objectives are reach, innovation and communication, because she wants to scale this model to the whole of our nation, via the realization that the mobile MISA will mean many young people face a financial future much nicer. Because whether it's providing a muffin service or t-shirts for tourists, financial education is too vital for our youth to ignore it. And finally, Diana saw it as a natural transition to go from fund management to making domestic abuse her mission. Listen, this is the hardest cause to raise money for, even compared to a donkey sanctuary the charities are poor. It's time to open the door and no longer keep it hidden from sight, and change the qualifications needed to gain a refuge bed for the night. Caada strives to keep people safe in their homes. 2 women are killed every day is the figure to know. And though you called for help, that call became something else. What's needed is one person to show you how to help yourself. So Caada has now trained over 14,000 supporters and brought together organisations with information about those who are caught as the worst cases. Because it's blatant there's a need to reach and make a difference before it's too tragically late. It's time to keep the starfish safe and heal the hurting and vulnerable. How? Simple. You just fund the unfundable. And having been humbled by these 3 incredible talks, it was time for we audience to walk the walk. So we formed groups and received our shopping lifts and brainstormed how we each can share our gifts to help uplift and make the shifts, to reprieve the debt and make the starfish safe. Because here's the tastiest dish I leave you to savour. Do we each add to our feast our unique ingredient and flavour? So in making a closing, I say remember, every soul can make a change, and we each have a piece in making it rain.